What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Jamar Montgomery of drjamarmontgomery.com, and I'm here with my Davos recap from the World Economic Forum 2025 annual meeting. As many of you know, that I get invited and sponsored to come to the World Economic Forum for the last 3 years. And each time I've been invited to speak. My first year, I spoke on blockchain and politics. The second year, I spoke on the integration of blockchain and AI on the Hedera panel with the co-founder of Hedera. And this year, I was talking about the need and shift for business schools in the age of AI on a panel with Chris Voss. So it's been very interesting, this entire experience, because at the World Economic Forum, that's where the world's most powerful and most influential people are coming there to do business. It's one of the few times that you can get all these people in the same room at the same time so that they can go and get things done and handle business. It's a good thing. I was there on business myself. And one of the things that I saw was this major focus on AI and quantum technology. So, one year, the year 2023 was talking about blockchain and green technology. 2024 was more focused, was blockchain and AI. And this year it's more AI and quantum, right? So you're seeing this shift in priorities, and it's been incredible, if you ask me. In seeing that transition, you also saw who was there and who wasn't there, who had a greater presence and who had a smaller presence. And just because you had a smaller presence doesn't mean that you had smaller importance. What it meant was that you had already been solidified, and now you're just sponsoring and having your tentacles out. One such place that I saw that with was with the Hedera camp, right? And as many of you guys know, I love HBAR, love Hedera, love that entire team. Built my first dApp on Hedera, currently building on Hedera, right? Love it. But I love Hedera because of what they offer. Hedera was one of those companies that they used to have a Hedera house, but this time they helped sponsor America House. So if you didn't know what you were looking at, you didn't realize that Hedera was one of the major sponsors because Hedera had their logo there. And it was interesting seeing the presence of, like, you had Hedera, Filecoin, and USDC that were the main three that were there. So what did you have? You had storage and compute. You had stable coins, and you had enterprise grade blockchain, or distributed ledger technology, as I should say. How do all those things work together? And mind you, some of the same hardware that you need for blockchain is also the same hardware that can be adapted and used for AI purposes. AI and blockchain are like peanut butter and jelly, with blockchain being the peanut butter and AI being the jelly. Blockchain being the peanut butter because it provides structure, it provides body, it's the data structure and how you store your information, and jelly being able to gather those sweet insights from the data that you have collected, from the data that you have archived. So when we look at AI, you now see this greater importance on data engineering and preparing your data so that you can get clean insights, actionable insights from the AI. Am I utilizing my AI to generate things, to generate new things, or am I utilizing my AI to help me understand the things that have already happened? Am I using my AI do I need my AI to imagine and hallucinate and create new things? Or do I need my AI to perform these set tasks and help me optimize performing those tasks? There was talk about the AI agents and agentic use of AI in corporations. Now, before, a lot of the corporations were a little worried about AI because they saw AI as this competitive advantage. But then these large organizations started seeing how challenging it is to implement AI across their enterprises. Why? Because you have privacy, data security, data access, right? You may have a data lake, but not everybody needs to have access to that particular data, which is why why Palantir is so important, because Palantir can create a data lake and then set the permissions on which information that you have access to, all while maintaining whatever particular model, AI model that you need, and allow that model to operate on the permissioned information that you have access to. Right, I saw a number of various companies that were there that were doing very interesting things in the quantum space, doing very interesting things in the blockchain and AI space, such as WiseKey, right? Such as SealSQ, such as Palantir. Right, these are the insights that I received from the World Economic Forum that you won't hear being talked about in the mainstream media and even on other outlets. Why? Because not everybody is privileged to be able to show up to Davos, to hear these conversations, to be a part of these meetings, to understand and get a perspective of everything that's going on. Another thing that we saw was that there is this conflict between businesses making money and businesses doing what's in the best interest of their employees. Business leaders are trying to are having to balance what's good for the shareholders, what's good for their employees. What do I mean by that? Wall Street does not care about how you treat your employees. Wall Street cares about, did you hit the targets? Did you meet your numbers? That's what Wall Street is concerned about. What does the stock price look like? Whereas if you don't take care of your employees, well, your employees can't serve your customers. So if your employees don't feel a sense of importance, don't feel a sense of stability, don't feel a sense of responsibility, don't feel a sense of that the company actually cares about them, you run the risk of running yourself into the ground, which is why a lot of these companies are looking forward to AI, because they're trying to figure out how do we reduce our bottom line. Problem with that is that the people who know how to do that, you're going to have to pay them very well. And it's going to take a bunch of people in order to do it very well. So while you have gotten rid of some jobs, you've created new jobs, but you have to pay them highly. Why? Because everybody is trying to figure out how to do that. And those kinds of people are going to be in high demand. People who are in data engineering, people who are AI specialists, people who are great with implementation and program management and project management, things that I'm very familiar with. Being in Davos, you're able to see who are the real movers and shakers, who are the people that are doing things actually, right? The mood that people had towards Donald Trump, the mood that people had towards America. And don't get it twisted. The business community loves Donald Trump. They love him. And what do I mean by that? They love him for this particular reason. They may hate everything else about him, but they love that he's good for their business. So they're able to forgive and overlook a lot of things. Why? Why am I going to be so concerned about my own personal feelings about Donald Trump when Donald Trump is allowing my company to make more money? Think about it from that perspective. This is this is what people are missing about this idea